So YouTube, today I'm gonna be talking about the Tascam Model 24 and how I could get like a session onto the board so I could use it kind of like an analog console. So in this case, I'm mixing an MPC, a beat I made on the MPC. So here on Pro Tools, I already tracked out the beat, so you have just the kick, then you have just the snare, the hat, bass, and I got like the sample going through the 404 with some effects. I already have that printed. And then I have some little reverb. So yeah, I'm gonna show you how I do it and like some things you have to like have set up for this kind of to work. And yeah, let's get into it. So first of all, you need the Tascam Model 24 to be in USB. This could be connected via USB cable to your computer, and I just have it set up automatically. Or you could do this through the SD card slot here. I don't really bother with that too much. Yeah, I don't even got nothing in there. And then make sure on the computer you go to your setup, your playback engine is on the Model 24, and then your buffer size don't really matter, but if you're mixing you should probably want it higher. So now after you have your Tascam Model 24 set up like a USB interface, you need to have to set the outputs to the channels you want. So in this case I have the kick going to 1, snare 2, the hi-hat 3, bass 4, and then because the sample and the reverb, they're stereo tracks, I have them going 5 and 6, 7, 8. So this way I have them going out to each of their corresponding channels. So if I loop this and I press play, I have them coming out of here. But so let's say I'm just starting this shit again, right? So I already have the channel going, the audio going down here to my 8 channels: kick, snare, hat, bass, sample, reverb. So if I want this to appear like on my monitor systems, I'm gonna have to set them to main, so they go out to the stereo group. So in this board you have 2 options. You can either send them to the main, the stereo group, which is the red, or the sub. This is the sub. And the sub output you can send anywhere else. And you can send the sub to the main, but I don't do that. And you also have like these auxiliaries right here. You can send them out to the effects units, or I think these are the aux group masters. You could probably send them to these faders and have these faders come back in and out from like an effects unit. And then this board, you have a 3-band EQ that you could use on the channel. So you have a high shelf, low shelf. The low shelf is at 80 Hertz. The high shelf is at 12K. And then on both you get like a -15, +15 gain or attenuation. And then you have a sweepable mid band. So you could go from either anywhere between 100 Hertz to 8,000 Hertz. And then -15 and 15. So that's pretty cool. You have a compression knob if you want to like compress like the kick or the bass, whatever. And then you have an option up here. You could choose between like what's coming into the board, as if it's like a live board. You could choose what's coming in from the computer, PC. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention you need that to have it to work. You need to be PC on the PC mode. So it's grabbing the audio from the computer, from the USB. And then you have the multi-track mode, which is from the SD card. if you have like the song recorded with the multi-tracks on the SD card, you can pull it up, put these on some multi-track mode, and put them up on the faders. Right, and then this is the gain stage, the input. You don't really need it for if you're like trying to record shit, but yeah. So now that I went through like the board, this is your fader to get some volume, kick, snare, hat, bass, and your reverb. You have mute buttons so you can mute. Alright. And then you have your pan knobs. Like I said, my last 4 are stereo, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what I'm gonna do is just pan them hard left and hard right. So I can have that stereo image. So you're just hearing the reverb. And this is a sample, the bass up the middle, kick, snare, hat up the middle. Oh, I could have the hat there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So you have it up. You have the faders going up. You got them going to the main, and then you can mute whatever pan. You can send these to the auxes. You can have like a reverb send, or this thing has a built-in effects unit right here, so you can really control like how much you're sending to the effect. It's only the third knob that sends it to the onboard effects unit. Let's see if we can get something. Already has an effect, right? Oh, that reverb. Let's send it to the snare. You can change the effects unit on here. I have a large hall, small hall. Right. I already have reverb on it. I'll just mute that. Yeah, the effects on it sound pretty good. And then you got the effect, the EQ. So if I want to add 80 hertz to the kick. Alright, and then to the bass. Whatever. You get the gist of it. Cool. So I just went over like how you use the board, right? You got all these effects and EQs and whatnot. But if you're happy with the mix and you got the levels how you want them and shit, you know you got to print it back, right? So like, what's the point of this if you can't record what you did? So the thing about the Model 24 that I don't really like is that you can't send individual outs with the effects on back into Pro Tools or whatever. Because it just gets the input up here. I don't believe there's a way for you to get it post fader. I believe someone tell me if I'm wrong, please. But the way I do it now to get the mix that I did on this board is that I go onto Pro Tools and a new stereo track, right? And then I just have the inputs to be 23, 24, and then I just mute it because I don't want no feedback. And you'll see that you're gonna see that this meter move, and that's what the the stereo mixes. So you usually record the stereo mix. It's like all of it. So I think that level is before that fader, but if I turn everything down, see that it goes away. So it's your stuff. That's your stereo mix. Then you'll print one with the effects and your levels, your EQs, your reverb, and you mix, and then you got a finished mix. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, YouTube, that's pretty much it. That's how I get it done. This is how I imagine a lot of people get it done. But I don't see any videos of this on YouTube. Cause I see a lot of people got the 2400, which I like. It's like has a lot of outputs and shit. This one doesn't have a lot of outputs at all. It only has like 2, maybe the control room, phones, the main 6, and then 8. Oh, I guess it does have quite a bit. Just the monitor out. I mean, I guess it does have quite a bit of outputs, but yeah, that's the thing about this board. It doesn't have a lot of outputs, but whatever. That's not the point. So yeah, YouTube. That's pretty much how you use this Model 24 to mix beats or songs, for that matter. If you have the program already, like on your session or like in your Pro Tools, Ableton, I think it'll work the same way. Just make sure you have this connected via USB. You have the USB slider on, mode on, and just send out the stems to the separate channels, and then put up the faders, make sure they're going to the stereo out. You know, do your whole mix however you like, and then print the master back into your session, whatever, and then boom, that's your fucking mix. You know what I mean? So yeah, YouTube, I hope y'all learned something in this video. You know what I mean? If y'all have a Model 24, or if you have a Model 16, if you have a Model 12, whatever, I think it'll work the same way. Just have, again, your USB audio interface connected. But yeah, it's very versatile. I like it. It's cool. It's like as if you're on an actual console. But I've been thinking about selling this board. It's great and all, but honestly, I don't really mix a lot on the board. I use this one in the record path. So if I'm making a beat, I send it here. After here, I send it back into the Tascam Model 24, and then some session, and I don't touch it after that. I do like in the box in here. So what I've been thinking of doing is selling this and getting like a 8 in 8 out interface, maybe like a second one connected via ADAT. You know, I have my 16/8 inputs, whatever. I have some outputs, and then have the outputs running to this. And it's like a patch bay into this. So then I can run this like my console, like how I just did right now. It'll only be like, the interface is like this small. This is fucking huge. You know what I mean? So yeah. Well, yeah, that's pretty much the video. I hope y'all learned a lot, or I hope you learned something at least. And yeah, drop a comment if there's anything I left not to be said, or there's another way to do things. I'm trying to learn more. But yeah, YouTube, thank you. Catch you on the next one.